It turns out LS is amazing, and I have some major revisiting to do when it comes to Legend Seeker Virgil. Now that he's been out for a little bit, and we've all had more time to figure him out, it's become quite apparent that he beats out EJ pound for pound. I know I made a speculation video upon his trailer announcement, but I also made an early review video of him pretty much the day after he released, and many things have changed since. I'd like to first start by going over his moveset again, and the little details that I missed the first time around that makes him such a complete kit, and ultimately offer the same things EJ does, but better. I'm gonna break down each of his useful moves and what makes them so good. So basically, to start, we're gonna start with his Void Slash. I'm just gonna break it down in like a bullet point format. His Void Slash has a very large range and basically hits every enemy on the screen from a far distance. It does great damage at close or ranged combat. He gets super armor while doing this move, so you won't get knocked back by enemy attacks. He knocks annoying flying enemies out of the air, preventing them from attacking, which is great for content like Bloody Palace, where not getting hit is crucial to a higher score. Ranking him up, you get 2 energy charges per Void Slash, needing only 3 for his Deep Stinger instead of 6 if he's not ranked up. The second part to his attack does constant damage, or lingering damage, and staggers enemies and bosses, which puts them in a stun lock that can be spammed pretty much infinitely. Next is his Deep Stinger attack. It has invincibility frames during the startup animation. It can be controlled manually, or if you just leave the joystick alone, I play with a controller, but yeah, if you leave the joystick alone and don't control him manually, it's gonna auto-target whichever enemy you are locked onto. He does huge damage once again with this attack, and several hits which makes tearing enemy hit shields apart very simple. He pulls in enemies and groups them together. When ranked up, will ignore enemy shields and attack their HP directly. Going on to his third, and lastly, his Doppelganger ultimate. When ranked up, Doppelganger will stay summoned pretty much infinitely until you tag LS out for another hunter, in which Doppelganger will desummon. Pretty much has the same moveset EJ does, but on autopilot. So you can't control him, unfortunately, but from what I've experienced, he does a pretty good job dishing out the hurt on enemies on his own. Does huge damage, again, and applies extra bleed status buildup to the target, which is huge. It's like having an extra hunter on the field, just doing everything. It's like having EJ on the field and then having LS on the field at the same time. It's pretty crazy. Can interrupt animations, meaning if you activate Void Slash but cancel the animation by summoning his Doppelganger, you will only need to pull off 2 Void Slashes to have your Deep Stinger ready to go. So, with those 3 things said, to sum up everything, LS's kit has two moves that provide invincibility frames, being Deep Stinger, Startup, and Ultimate Animation. So you can use those 2 opportunities to not get hit by things, and then obviously there's his dodge or his teleport dodge. And then he also has full screen area of effect attack, AoE attack, which hits pretty much all enemies on the screen. So he has no issue hitting multiple targets, which is huge. Massive damage both to single and multiple targets. So he's great at dishing out the hurt on single targets, and he can dish it out on multiple targets. Very similar to how EJ operates. Ranged combat for safe play. This is a huge thing, and this is something EJ had over a lot of hunters for a very long time. Not only could EJ do a shit ton of damage, but he could multiply that damage through safe combat, which was at range. although EJ is a more technical hunter. We'll get into that in a sec. But yeah, so he can do massive damage to both single and multiple targets, ranged combat for safe play, full screen AoE attack, 2 moves that provide invincibility frames. He can group enemies together. This is another huge one. Really, the most effective hunter in the game that can group enemies has been DE, Destined Executioner Dante. And he's not even safe. While he's pulling in enemies, he can still take damage and take hits. But LS can group all these enemies together and just rips them apart. And lastly, he's pretty much self-sustaining. He has a lot of interesting healing passives that keep him very alive, and it makes him very tanky. So he's got the full kit. He's got everything you basically want in a hunter in this game wrapped up into one. EJ, I'd say, is very similar, but he's definitely more technical. The difference is EJ takes quite a higher level of raw player skill to master his playstyle, including his judgment cuts and perfect judgment cuts and things like that. And ultimately, it takes a lot of time to become really efficient with EJ. Whereas with LS, his playstyle is absurdly easy to master, and quite frankly, it's a little bit brain dead, if I'm being honest. I personally find EJ's playstyle to be more fun and keeps things kind of entertaining, but if you're looking for the best current hunter, LS takes the crown for now. He does more damage than EJ. So, for instance, I actually have my current LS is at SSS plus rank and only a 1-star exclusive weapon, and he's out damaging boss hunt bosses like Navon. I'm pulling in like almost 30. What is it? Almost 30. What did I get? I think I got 200 million score with EJ, and that was like a perfect run. Like it was a hard run and took a lot of effort to get that. Whereas with LS, I think I was able to get something like 230 million, and I'm a lower rank than EJ, a way lower weapon rank, and it was easy. It was easy as hell. I just sat there and spammed Void Slash, rotated CA and DH out for their buffs when the timing was right, and I just spammed the shit out of LS, and I racked up a way higher score than with EJ, and it took a lot less effort. So if that's anything to say, I mean, it's that's what clued me in. I'm like, hey, this guy's like way better. And some of my guild mates that I play with in the game who do have LS maxed out, they are actually killing like the highest difficulty Navon on boss hunt again. So literally LS is breaking the game once again. He's defeating bosses in boss hunt, and then moving over to content like Bloody Palace, he's beating EJ in Bloody Palace as well. One, he takes way less effort. Like, you guys see some of my solo videos with EJ on Bloody Palace. It's a lot of work. I mean, you guys just see one video and one run, but some of those runs, in order for me to get those runs, those perfect runs, takes me like, sometimes it takes me like 100 runs sometimes just to get that one good run. So it's really hard with EJ to pull those off. Whereas with LS, I can just, I got on today, I think it was my third run with him. I was able to do a no-hit run with LS and racked up enough damage. And look at the score, look at the leaderboard. At the top, highest damage pretty much within my server bracket with just the one hunter. And I could probably pump out even more score if I use 3 hunters, or if I use CA and DH with him. But look at how crazy he is just running solo. He's crazy. He's broken. So yeah, it kind of sucks to see EJ dethroned, especially for those who have invested in him a lot of resources. But it's bound to happen. That's what power creep does. And I'm actually kind of glad to start seeing hunters come out that are contesting with how good EJ is, because honestly, it's a little bit boring to see hunters keep coming out that just didn't really offer that much. LS offers a ton, and I'm actually quite shocked to see that. You know, my speculation with LS was not too far off from, you know, the trailer and then my day after review, but, you know, getting more hands-on with him and actually figuring out what he can do in the different types of content, he is a really complete kit, just like EJ, and he pumps out more damage. So there you have it. LS right now, I'd say, is the king of the game, top of the meta if that's what you're chasing, with Mirage Slayer Virgil on the horizon. I don't know. It's tough to say, because it looks like they're starting to finally throw hunters at us that are doing some good amount of damage. So even though a lot of people are saying that Mirage Slayer looks a little bit boring, like even his trailer video, he looked like he was just doing the same moves over and over again. But let's be honest, like, that's a lot of what this game is, unfortunately, with the way the hunters tag in and out. You're basically just bringing a hunter out, doing one or two moves, spamming it, and then pulling them back out for the damage dealer, who should have the most uptime. And that's essentially kind of unfortunately what it boils down to. So even though it's cool to see hunters have like expansive movesets, you don't really get to utilize a lot of it. So Mirage Slayer, I think they're going to compensate. You know, maybe his moveset is boring, a little bit like LS, but maybe he's going to do a crazy amount of damage. So, and in these types of games, damage is king. So we will see. We will see. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have been seeing a lot of your guys' comments, and like I said, I don't ignore them. I've been meaning to do an OMS video. I know that's been on people's minds, because honestly, OMS is such a great hunter, and I will make a video about everything he can do, because a lot of people have this negative stigma that he's shit, and he's definitely not. So I want a video out there to kind of change people's minds about him. And secondly, I do plan to do like an account showcase. A lot of people have been asking to see like all my hunters, what kind of cards I have, what kind of weapons I have. I will make a video about that very soon as well, just kind of going through my whole account, everything I've kind of accomplished and completed, and I'll also give my thoughts on a few things. And then I guess in the long run, I plan to do more like in-depth hunter reviews. So just like this one with LS, like a more detailed breakdown of what the character can do and all the little things that is affected in the game. I want to try to do that with like as many hunters as I can. This stuff does take time and effort, though. I'm just like every one of you guys. I'm working. I have a full-time job. I got responsibilities to take care of. So, you know, it is tough for me to make these videos sometimes. I gotta be in the right mindset, have the right energy, but you know, you guys constantly subscribing, giving likes, commenting and engaging with me, and even some of you are even teaching me things I didn't know, so I really appreciate that. And I will continue to make these videos if that's what you guys want to see. Alright, appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video.
Stay.